bringing you the latest news from Liberty Athletics. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. We are in the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. We're going to talk about that game that I gushed about for a few minutes while I was waiting on Eric Ward earlier, and then talked to about him because the other side of the equation's right here next to me on the left. I want to repeat what I was saying first to Jason Richards there, because it's a source of pride for me. On Friday night, prior to the Plainview-Wichita Falls Memorial game, they will induct the 2025 Plainview High Hall of, I'm not sure if they call it their athletics, Hall of Honor, Hall of Fame. That class includes my late father-in-law, Tom Hall, who was the radio man for Plainview for years and years. It includes some guys that I think Joe Sexton knows a little bit. Former Plainview, Slayton, and Paladuro coach Steve Parr. Former Caprock and Coronado and now Anna coach Seth Parr. Longtime college assistant and now the head coach at Texas A&M Kingsville, Scott Parr. Then a guy named Bobby Davis, who is a Plainview native, broke a lot of hearts in Plainview through the years when he was coaching against them at Friendship. So that's a pretty powerful football class to get inducted, in addition to the 1994 Plainview boys basketball team that won a state championship. So I may have to ask Joe Sexton for the quickest path. I will be in Plainview before the pregame, and I've got to figure out how to get to Tiger Stadium in Wolford, Texas by 7:30 for a kickoff that night. So,
well, I don't know. Might have to ask Siri on that one.
If I get one of these young guys to drive me, I might get there a little quicker.
Oh no, these are two pretty safe drivers.
Okay, that's good to hear. You want responsible guys on your football team. Thursday night, I know exactly where I'm going to be, because Thursday night at 7 p.m. at Lowry Field in the HubCPreps.com game of the week, Liberty Patriots play your first game at Lowry Field.
Mm-hmm.
They take on the Estacado Matadors. It's not technically for the outright district championship because Patriots still have a game after that. But it's, to me, the two best teams in that district. Patriots are 7-1. Matadors are 7-2. Both of them are steamrolling right now. Guys, I'm going to get these guys to talk about it first, because I don't want to shoot all my bullets with you, Joe, because you're going to have to talk about it on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
That's
why we bring them. Let them talk.
Introduce yourselves so people know you by voice that are listening on radio.
I'm Colton Machard, quarterback.
Isaac Rodriguez, DN.
You guys have played meaningful games all along. This one's a little bit different. Coach and I talked a little bit about it last week. It's a little bit different because you know these dudes. You know them well from football, from different sports. And I know you've still got a game to go, and there's still a lot of playoffs. That's something that Eric Ward and I talked about. This is an important game, but there's a lot of football for both teams after that. But Colton, how cool is it to be involved in a game that's going to have a lot of eyes on it, a lot of TV eyes, a lot of folks in the stands? This is what high school football is supposed to be like.
Yes, sir. I love playing under the lights, primetime game, if you will, on Thursday. But just playing with them, it's a big game for us. Like you said, we got a lot on the line, but just go out there, put our best foot forward, and execute like we have. But yeah, we know these guys. I got injured last year in this game, so I'm really just looking forward to it. I'm really excited.
Now, Isaac, you guys played Greenwood a few weeks ago. You went down the road and played them and did some good things. Didn't wind up the way you guys wanted. Something I mentioned to Coach when we talked last week is that was a barometer game for you guys to see where you are. To me, this is another one before you get to the playoffs to see how good you guys can be, what you need to do to keep getting better. Is that something that you're looking forward to Thursday night?
Against Greenwood, it was just to really see like where we were at, and we did very good, and it shows us that we're a great team. But playing against Estacado means something more because we have something to win. So it's definitely a bigger thing.
All right, Joe, now you have to talk a little bit. You heard you guys talk. It means something to them. And you were Lubbock Cooper for a long time. You've been at places where there's certain games that just kind of make your ears perk up a little bit more, and this seems to be one of them.
Last year, we were in the game pretty much kind of right up until the fourth quarter. Colton just mentioned that, that he got hurt, and we were there. I really feel like we played pretty well that game. And then it's kind of like a lot of our games last year. We kind of let them slip away in the fourth quarter. And this year it's been a lot different. These guys have complete focus through all four quarters of just about every game that we've played. So really, really looking to, you always love playing good teams. And Estacado is a great team. They've got a great coaching staff, great athletes, very, very fast. So, they're going to challenge us on every level. So we're excited to, show everybody that we can stay on the field with them.
We talked last week. You've got fast guys. I don't know that there's not many teams that I've seen this year that have two guys like Estacado's Sever Cross and James Bozeman.
Both of those guys are lightning in a bottle. They can score on any play. Somebody doesn't have the right angle or the wrong assignment. They can go at any time. So it's going to be very important for us to make sure that we try to keep those guys bottled up.
Isaac, there you go. You're one of those guys that has to do it. What is the key against them? What do you remember about playing them last year? And how important is it to not let them get free?
It's just it's a lot of things really that we've been working on, but it's just about containing them. I think last year we kind of got tired and we started getting off on reps. This year, we're just working a little bit harder to be able to just contain them, like he said, and yeah, that's our whole mindset. It's just containing them.
When we'll come back, I want to talk about something that Coach mentioned last week about on video how all you guys are close to the ball when it ends. It's going to be pretty important. We'll come back after this break for another segment of the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Liberty Athletics. You're listening to the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back into the Patriot Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score. We're talking about Liberty and Estacado, 7 p.m. Thursday at Lowry Field. That will be on, make sure I get this right, get my cheat sheet out, 93.1 Young Country with Nash?
Branson Nash.
Branson Nash, yes.
Right.
I see him every Sunday at church.
Yeah, and Colt Rogers.
And Paul Enlow there just to keep people entertained.
Patriot.
I'm still surprised that those other guys can get much of a word in with Paul in the booth. Do they turn his mic off ever? Or do they?
Yeah, there's remote control over there. You can kill that thing.
Paul, if you're listening, I love you. Joe knows this. I told him a story not too long ago that the first time I encountered Paul Enlow was riding with Joe and Max and Paul coming back from San Antonio, and I was ready for a nap.
Oh no, that's
zero sleep.
That's the best thing about taking Mr. Enlow on road trips because you've always got somebody to talk to. I've never seen the guy fall asleep. All the road trips that I've been on with him, never have I seen him fall asleep.
Yeah, Colton, what you were just saying about Coach never meeting a stranger. Have you ever met Paul Enlow?
Yes, I have.
No, but that man, not only is there not a stranger, he literally, it's like a walking Rolodex. He knows everybody.
Yeah.
So. And he's been at Friendship. He's been at Lubbock. He's been at a lot of the schools where I understand. So he'll be there Thursday night with a whole lot of other people. Joe, when you started getting ready for this, you guys had an open week. I want to say off week, open week. And we talked last week about giving these guys some time to kind of exhale and get away a little bit. And the coaches, too. When did you and the coaches start digging into Estacado and figuring out what a game plan needed to be?
Well, we went back and started watching our last year's tape, probably, Tuesday, Wednesday last week, and just trying to look at – sometimes when you go back and you look at a game tape and you're like, man, well, why did we do that? So for me, there was a lot of those moments in that game like, gosh, dang, why did we have, why are we doing this and why are we doing that? But – so we started working probably Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that, on just our old game tape, and then just try to get ready.
Colton, I'm going to guess that one of those things Coach talked to you about not doing, because that was the game, right?
Yes, sir.
That was the non-sliding game, which I've watched you several times this year. You've taken coaching well.
That's right.
So assuming that...
Yeah, we talk about that weekly.
Well, I've seen you talk about it in game. So.
Oh, yes.
That aside, I asked Isaac what the keys are offensively. What do you have to do against Estacado? Because they're a defense that will bend a little bit. They've given up some points, given up some yards, but they also are able to take the ball away. I think their last 2 wins, I think they have 8 or 9 takeaways. What do you have to do offensively?
Yeah, I mean, first things first, take care of the ball. No turnovers is big for us, and then execute. We want to run the ball at them, and we just want to get in the end zone and get our defense back out there and get stops.
Now, depending on whether or not they put Big Vershandrick on the defensive line, and they've done that a lot, that's a challenge for you guys. Offensive line is incredible. I don't know that many offensive lines have seen somebody quite the size of Vershandrick. That takes some strength and movement on him. If they're able to slow your run down a little bit, because obviously you guys like to run the ball. For you, what do you have to do? Because you've got some guys to throw the ball to. It's been fun to watch what you've done, and I hate that Coleman's hurt, but that's made you have to adjust a little bit because there's your security blanket. You've had some other guys step up. What do you have to do if you wind up throwing the ball a little bit more?
I mean, yeah, Big V's, he's a big player. He's a great player. I bet it'll be hard definitely this week to run the ball. But I trust our line. We can do what we want. But yeah, we can do everything. We can throw the ball. We can run the ball. I think just executing and not throwing any interceptions for sure. But yeah, just execute and get our playmakers the ball in space.
To me, Joe, this is going to be 48 minutes. It doesn't seem like either team's going to run away and hide from the other one. You guys, even the Greenwood game wasn't necessarily 48 minutes because they took control a little bit. Are you kind of eager to see what your guys do in a game that may go down to the wire?
You know, I was really expecting that game to really be like that, and it's going to be good for us to be in a game like that where every possession is going to be extremely important, and I just feel like that's going to be so good for us, down the road also.
Yes, because as I mentioned, both teams are playoff bound. Both teams have a chance to play for a while. You're going to play teams very much like each other when you get into November down the road. For both you guys, how much do you feel like this game can prepare you for whoever you're going to face any round of the playoffs, but especially if you can get 2, 3, 4 rounds deep?
I think looking at our schedule, we've played a lot of teams with power, definitely Greenwood, but we haven't seen nobody with speed. And I think that's going to be a measure and show us where we need to work on coming to playoffs and just have our eyes focused on the nearby future and whoever we play.
What about you, Colton? You're getting distracted by number 15 out there.
I do. Patrick Mahomes.
You're preaching to the choir there.
Like Coach said, I think we all love playing close games. We all love playing good teams, and it'll be good for us no matter what happens.
You guys haven't been nice to people because when it's been close against most teams, you guys hit the gas and pull away. So
I think like you said, it'll be a close game, and I'm excited for it. It'll be a real fun one on the Thursday night, and just to see what we're all about 4 quarters of the game. So it'll definitely get us prepared for playoffs.
Besides Coleman, you guys have kind of rounded back into health, I believe. Oh, I'm getting waved at. See, when Joe's here, that happens.
Yeah,
we'll come back. We've got one more segment left in the Patriot Fan Zone, and I'll try not to get distracted by Joe Sexton anymore. I'm Randy Rosetta. This 100.7 The Score.
Your inside look into Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. I am paying attention to my producer more this segment, I promise, for whoever's out there listening that writes my paychecks. This is Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score, and it's the high school fan zone. I'm going to talk less and let these guys talk more because that's why I ran over, because they're so good at giving answers. We've talked about just about everything. In games like these, offense is going to be good, defense is going to be good. To me, special teams is that. It's not a hidden thing. You guys have been good at special teams, and I believe Estacado has returned 4 or 5 kickoff.
Oh yeah.
It's been different guys. I think they have 4 different guys that have taken it back. How key is that going to be, Joe, to make sure that the hidden yards aren't?
They've scored a lot on punt returns, kickoff returns, block punts, stuff like that. So we've been really talking about the last 2 weeks about how important special teams really are. I think sometimes a high school kid will kind of think, well, I'm just a special teams player, but they don't realize how important it is. It can a snap over the punter's head or anything that can change the flow of the game can. Last week I was watching I think Borger snapped a ball over the punter's head, and of course Estacado's got a kid right there that scoops it up and goes and scores. So it's just something that's really, really small that can turn into a big snowball. So we've been talking about special teams a lot, really all year long. We hit them probably 2 to 3 times a week, and just really emphasize how important they are.
Isaac, when you guys were that first year when you weren't playing a varsity schedule, your freshman and sophomore, you probably didn't think much about special teams. It's kind of like Coach said. You think, it's almost like a punishment sometimes. As you've gotten older, does it kind of, what Coach said there, does it kind of register with you just how important those little plays that don't always show up have to be?
Oh, for sure. I'll take you back to when we were at Borger, or when we were playing Borger. Pierce had returned 2 touchdowns, man. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. It definitely impacted the score, and it just goes to show Borger was slacking, and they had to pay the price.
I believe he was the HubCityPreps.com Special Teams Player of the Week.
Yeah, just those 2 punt returns just really changed the whole flow of the game. And if those would have gone to either one of our 2 punt returners, JJ's back there, and he could have done the same thing. It was just fortunately, it went to Pierce, and he took them both to the house. So it's.
And for a small guy, not tiny, but for a small guy, I don't know. We talked about not wanting to get in the way of Rashandrick when he's running the ball. I don't know if I want to get in the way of Pierce because he gets that hockey player dad genes going a little bit.
Well, Pierce is going to be one of those ones. He's not going to let you hit him.
Yep.
He's going to. He has some moves out there that he starts moving before you even get close to him. So he's very hard to tackle, I guess.
Colton, you played basketball with him. Watching him, he goes downhill on the basketball court about as good as anybody I've seen in Lubbock the last few years.
Yes, he does. He's very, very shifty,
and he does it with a little bit of attitude. Good attitude. I mean, not bad attitude.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess you don't get to play special teams.
No, they don't let me out there return punts or anything.
I don't even get to be the gunner on punt returns or anything like
nothing.
That. No,
absolutely nothing. I got to go to individual with Coach Gerber.
No, and I'm going to guess that Coach Gerber didn't run a whole lot of special teams when he was at Levelland either. Is this the Gerber that threw for all the yards?
Yes.
Because I know there's more than one. Yeah, I'm going to guess that.
He's always a trivia question at state championship games.
He's most touchdowns in a season?
Yeah, I think it was most passing touchdowns.
70-something?
73, I believe.
God, that's.
I'm sure he tells Colton about that quite a bit during practice.
I'm sure he does, and he should. Like your brother and Steve Parr, that's probably more touchdowns than they had their teams in a career. So.
Oh yeah.
7 p.m. Thursday night. Game of the week, maybe the game of the year in Lubbock, Texas this year. Liberty against Estacado, 7 p.m. at Lowry Field. Will be on 93.1 Young Country. I think I got that right. I'm Randy Rosetta. That wraps us up in the Patriot Fan Zone.